Hi, welcome to this video. We're going to talk today about getting it right first time with setting up Jira. It's part of a wider series around project management, but this first video is universal really to any kind of Jira setup, I'd say. So the aim is to make Jira work for you, to avoid some of the common pitfalls that people fall into, and to hopefully give you at least one idea that you can take away and use. So I'm going to run through misconceptions of Jira and then some of the killer features as I see it, the benefits of each of those, the common pitfalls, and then some advice around best practice. So Jira misconception. A lot of people think of Jira as just for agile software delivery. It is popular in that space. It's got good integrations with a lot of DevOps tools. But it's not just about agile. It's not just about software delivery. You can scale your project management above agile software delivery teams, and you can also use Jira for completely non-IT configurations. And that's because of its first feature, highly flexible and configurable. I put some of the kind of technical features, reasons there in those bullet points, which I'm not going to go through in this particular video, but that's one of the main power of Jira is that you can configure it and make it work for your own process and the way that you want to work. So the benefits of that means you can support all kinds of different teams in the same setup. You can have a HR workflow next to a Scrum software team. You can have project managers working, pulling out MI from different dashboards. You can have everybody in there working in their own way and having a consolidated setup. You can capture all the data you need. You can set up all kinds of different custom fields to match your own business needs. So that allows you to make Jira work for you. So the pitfalls of the flexibility of Jira. You can end up with lots of people going off and making lots of changes, and they don't necessarily align to your kind of vision of what you aim to get out of Jira in the first place. So even though you've got flexibility, you want to try and control that to some extent to make sure that you're all working towards the same aims, even if you have different configurations. So some of the advice, some of the best practice we'd have for that. Number one, have a strategy, not just a wider kind of corporate strategy. Have a strategy for how you're going to use Jira and what you're hoping to get out of it. So one of the first things you'd think about is this about having a single version of the truth? Is this a company-wide instance that we want to kind of supply best practice and get people working how we want them to, or is it about giving independent teams the ability to go off and do their own thing? In that case, I'd generally advise, if we're on the cloud setup, I'd advise people to go off and literally have their own instance of Jira for each team. If it's about company setup, you've got a single instance, you need to be a little bit more careful about controlling change. Find out the outcomes that users want rather than asking them what the technical changes that they want to make, or letting them change their own workflows and add their own custom fields, because understanding what the outcome that they want can let you get that in a more efficient way, or understand if you can reuse something you've already done for a different team to try and keep things as joined up as possible. And part of that is limiting admin access. So big changes that come through to your Jira setup should be controlled the way that other changes are. You want someone who's a professional to do that and can understand the impact, to make sure that if it's a change that only one project wants, that it doesn't affect the other 10 projects that are in flight when that change is made. And killer feature number 2, the automated reporting. So there's a couple of example gadgets on the the screen right now that are applicable to project management, where we can see a roadmap view on the right and a risk matrix on the left. But there's all kinds of different MI that you can get out of the system for your, depending on your requirements. So the benefits of automated reporting, kind of self-explanatory in some ways, that you're going to save time because it's done automatically. It's consistent. It's not pulling data from one source and transforming it and introducing potential human error. It's insightful. It gives you powerful information that you can work with, and it's always up to date. That's a big benefit. It's real-time information. It's always up to date. The the pitfalls of MI. Thinking about MI last. That can cause problems where you've gone off and built your screens, you built your fields, and people are using the system. Then you start thinking about what kind of MI you want out of the system. It's better to have that as part of the strategy piece that I talked about earlier, to understand exactly what kind of information you want to get out of the system, and that can make sure that you build your setup to get that information. So for example, if you want to know how many new tasks are created by internal and external users, is that something that you're capturing in your tickets? If you need to do some number calculations, if you set up a field as a text only field, you will have accepted the number inputs, but then when you come to do MI, it's not going to give you the information that you need. So best to think about that up front and make sure you've set it up correctly. Spreadsheets, so you will often find that lots of places are dependent on spreadsheets. That's going to be kind of a key thing to make sure that people that are currently working from spreadsheets, either you can bring them on board with the information they're going to get out of Jira and get them bought in, or you're going to have to, if there's no way of bringing them around to that way of thinking and they need spreadsheets, you need to think about how you're going to transfer information from Jira into spreadsheets with it as low maintenance as possible. And the last one is the wrong tool. So once you understand your requirements, what type of MI you need to make sure that look through all the standard Jira metrics that you're going to get and the standard dashboards. Does that give you what you need, or do you need to look at the marketplace? There's an extensive range of reporting add-ons that you can look at that might meet your needs. So the takeaways from the demo: think first, have a plan for what you're trying to get out of Jira. Understand your users' needs. Think about them as user stories or requirements. Collate them together, and then achieve those needs in line with your strategic goals. That allows you to make Jira work for you and get the great benefits of that the software gives you. So I hope this was useful to you. I'll see you on the next video.